with you. Even if you don't have the money now, you have the energy to go and borrow and continue the work. But if you don't have her supporting, you feel down. Your Excellency, allow me to thank the entire Ministry of Health, headed by the Minister of Health, Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng, and the Prime Minister, and the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Diana Atwine, for the overwhelming support. They have given us technical support. I can't even count how many times we have been inspected, guided. NDA has been here many times, and you could see that they have the heart to hope this setup. Thank you so much, Honorable Jane Ruth Acheng. Thank you so much, PS Dr. Diana, for this support. Your Excellency, I have a prayer. As we have seen, this is not the end. This is not the limit. My prayer is that you continue to support us. You continue to support us, especially to get an offtake agreement with government of Uganda to access the market. But this guarantee, this offtake guarantee should have a figure. Everybody you talk to, he says, how much are you ready to spend? If I give you my technology, what is the royalty, how much fee? I have a technology transfer partner for vaccines, for Ebola. And he has said, when you get a commitment that you are able to pay me for my science, 3% per year of this volume, come back, I give you the technology, you go and manufacture your Ebola in your continent. And so far I don't have that. Your Excellency, the offtakes are there, but when you give it to a technology transfer partner, which is a very critical point, they don't look at it as a serious, I don't want to say serious, they don't take it so serious because they can't calculate if they join you in setting up how much they will be able to get back as return on investment. Your Excellency, that is still a challenge. Your Excellency, this is a heavy investment. If this was a mall, someone cannot even tell you he spent more than $3 million and you accept. But these are 3 floors. Each floor has 3 walls, and all of them are imported. Whatever you have seen comes fully made and set up here. It's a very, very expensive venture, and Your Excellency, I request that if you can, if UDC can join and support this initiative, the return on investment may be even much, much better than the other known revenue generating ventures. Your Excellency, in conclusion, allow me to recognize the guidance and the wise counsel I've been receiving from Chairman Emmanuel Katongole. Chairman has been supporting us. You know, he has been in this same industry for quite long. And every time I would get confused, I would run there and ask, how did you handle this? How did you handle it? Then he would guide. Your Excellency, allow me to thank the CEO and the whole team of Wonderful Biotech. This company, it's not easy to select, to spend 30 years developing a molecule or a technology, and one day you wake up and say, it's okay, you go, here is how they mix everything. Let me give you people for 6 months, train your people how to manufacture. This team has been here, Your Excellency, for almost 8 years now. Sorry, 8 months, training those Ugandans. You can see how they are training Ugandans how to manufacture. And we error, they take us back. We error, they take us back. Because they say they will only leave when we have WHOPQ. Your Excellency, allow me also to thank the Deseret President, Scott, for having chosen. You can see he's quite young, but every time, even after 3 months, he flies. He spends 24 hours on the plane coming to check on us on progress. It means he has a heart for developing Africa. Your Excellency, it would be bad if I leave this microphone without thanking my team, my staff. We have slept here for the last 6 months. I don't think there's anyone who has gone home before it is 11 p.m. because we would be here, being trained, change here, do this. I want to thank them so much, the Microhim team. Thank you so much for choosing to join the struggle, for choosing to join the #1 Sabarwan struggle to fight HIV and also grow science, to turn our science, which is taught to us in Makerere, using books, the Abbots, showing you this is how it is done, and now we turn that into a product. That is a great, great achievement for Ugandans. Your Excellency, someone has not been seeing me almost every day. Only 2 or 3 days, sorry, 3 hours a day, struggling with children. Children have fallen sick. He goes to hospital alone. It's just a call. How did you get the doctor? I have arranged the doctor. And I'm not there to provide that social support. Your Excellency, allow me introduce my wife. I hope after here, the team can hand at least for 2 days, and I take the children to the hospital. Thank you. Your Excellency, thank you so much for honoring this invitation. We are really excited for God and my country.
The president once said that African men, there are things they don't do in public. We all know that that is going to be about the children, right? It's certainly about the children. It is easy, I wish it was, to find money to build such a plant. It is another challenge to speak for it when the president is around and it is the first time. You've done very well. Get a big hand clap. If people think that it is easy when the president is around to know the difference between 8 years and 8 months, find money, build a plant, call the president and try to speak, then you will know that that's completely a different challenge. Those of us who do these things, it's because we don't have money and time to build plants. We have money and time to build words. And I wish my words were worth several $1 million. They cannot be, and they are not about to be. I think that you have done very well, and I would not encourage you to polish speaking. Just start plants. I think that is where your gift is, and we are happy that you continue with that gift. when somebody whispers you when you're on the microphone, everybody wants to know what they said. And they were telling me that I've done very well, my fees will certainly go up. I have been reminded that most of the people on the camera were also born in the city. And we thank them for a very good job. Crane performers, give us something for our ears as we wait for a technical break. Ekiri mutu kimanyibwa nnyinicho. Your Excellency, I'd like to make mention of the fact that His Excellency, the Chinese ambassador to Uganda, is here, and I would like him to stand up for recognition. We also do have the World Health Organization country representative. He's here. The Chairman, National Drug Authority, Dr. Bitecherezo, my former neighbor, is here. I'd also like the other owners of manufacturing plants within this sector to stand up. Thank you. As I said, Your Excellency, today the people speaking are people who came from a distance but came with substance and have contributed significantly in this country as the rest of us watch on. The next one to speak also came from a distance. I heard you saying you picked her from a certain place up there and brought her to support your cause. And I remember during COVID, she spoke and the nation listened. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the daughter of the people up there, now governing an entire nation and keeping it healthy, Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, colleague ministers present, Excellencies, great pleasure and pride to this official opening of the first plant for manufacturing in vitro diagnostics in Uganda, and one of the 5 in the whole continent of Africa. You heard from the CEO, he read the 5. The climate is good for human habitation, agriculture, leisure and hospitality, and many economic activities. But this same climate is also very good for bacteria and other microorganisms that affect both humans and animals. This is why we have all sorts of diseases, endemic, emerging, and re-emerging. A few of them: malaria, TB, sleeping sickness, Ebola, Marburg, etc. Importation of the required diagnostics and medicines for these diseases is therefore not sustainable. And so local manufacturing is the only solution to this challenge. Like Your Excellency always says, we must benefit from our diseases. Unfortunately, for a very long time, Uganda has been dependent on importation of drugs, medical equipment, and laboratory reagents and other supplies from overseas. Your Excellency, it was just about 15 years ago when Quality Chemicals Limited began to manufacture malaria and HIV drugs locally. And it is now manufacturing even more drugs, including for hepatitis B and many others. This is our pride. And Mr. Emmanuel Katongole, we want to say a big thank you to you. We are therefore very excited that we are now expanding the local manufacturing capacity to include laboratory reagents and other diagnostic devices. I congratulate Microhim Group of companies for leading in the local diagnostic manufacturing space. We want to thank the Scientific Advisory Committee for the Microhim Group of companies and the international partner investors for accepting to come in and support local manufacturing, including technology transfer. Please appreciate them. Your Excellency, this investment is worthwhile because Uganda is at the heart of 8 East African countries, including Somalia, with a combined population of more than 300 million people. Moreover, we will also have market access to over 1.4 billion people of the African continent through the African Continental Free Trade Area. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, in order for you to appreciate the importance of local manufacturing of medical devices, let me take you a little back to the peak of COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 and 2021. The movements of people had been restricted, with the exception of cargo trucks from neighboring countries and food products locally. The Ministry of Health was carrying out a survey to establish the extent of the spread of COVID-19 infection in the population, testing and tracking contacts of confirmed COVID-19 cases, and testing truck drivers to limit importation of the virus. Suddenly, we were running out of PCR reagents and supplies, and countries that were manufacturing didn't want to export them before they could satisfy their own needs. It took the intervention of His Excellency the President, talking directly to the heads of the global manufacturing corporations, for the country to get some of the laboratory reagents and supplies. Your Excellency, we are grateful. However, with local manufacturing, we wouldn't have gone through all these challenges because we would be having direct access to the reagents and supplies. Your Excellency, local manufacturing of in vitro diagnostics is also in line with the global trends, where the World Health Organization is working with international partners like PEPFAR and the Global Fund to promote manufacturing of the diagnostics where the needs are in order to ensure sustainability. On the African continent, the African Union is working through the African Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, that is the African CDC, and African governments to accelerate access to diagnostics in the continent by promoting local manufacturing, building capacity of diagnostic centers of excellence, and facilitating harmonization of regulatory processes, among other initiatives. Most importantly for Uganda, local manufacturing is a deliberate plan in Uganda Vision 2040, being promoted to reduce on the import bills and increase trade revenues to accelerate national development and transition to middle income status. For this venture, for example, as you heard from the CEO, government has supported the investor by providing affordable financing through Uganda Development Bank. And the Ministry of Health and its partners will procure the test kits produced from here, particularly for HIV and malaria. While our Central Public Health Laboratory, which has already been designated by WHO as a regional center of excellence for diagnostics, will provide quality assurance services to ensure that the products released into the market meet the required quality standards. Your Excellency, our annual requirement for HIV rapid diagnostic test kits is about $18.9 million US, of which government of Uganda and partners procure annually, leaving a gap of about 3.6. For malaria rapid diagnostic tests, our annual requirement is $15.7 million US, again procured by government of Uganda and partners, leaving a gap of $1.1 million. All these test kits are currently being imported. So we envisage that the establishment of this plant will save Uganda money, which would have gone into importation of HIV and malaria test kits alone. Besides providing quality test kits at affordable prices, this manufacturing plant will also create direct and indirect employment in the factory and along the value chain. Allow me to thank WANDFO and Deseret companies for supporting the aspiration of Ugandans to develop our economy by investing in local manufacturing and the technology transfer. I thank all of you for coming to witness this very important occasion in our country's journey towards diagnostic sufficiency and economic independence. And a very warm appreciation to you, Excellency, for coming in person to commission this processing plant for RDTs in Uganda. I say all this for God and my country. It is now my honor and pleasure to invite the Right Honorable Prime Minister to invite His Excellency. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, the Honorable Ministers, Your Excellencies, the Ambassadors, the Members of Parliament, the Permanent Secretary, Heads of Government Departments, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, allow me to thank you, Mr. President, for gracing this occasion with your presence. I also want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to represent you at the launch of the start of the construction of this facility in 2021. Your Excellency, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for the visionary leadership and the guidance you have enabled us to commission, that has enabled us to commission this facility and launch the production of HIV and malaria testing kits in our country. Your Excellency, when I met you together with the owners of this facility in October last year, the proprietors told you that they were going to set up 2 manufacturing facilities, one for diagnostics and another. That we are launching one of the facilities today, the diagnostic facility. The 4th generation fully automated diagnostic manufacturing facility, the first of its kind in Uganda. He has also told us it is the first of its kind in Sub-Saharan Africa, making 5 of this kind, but the first 4th generation. And so we are lucky that we are getting this milestone in the growth of our health sector as a country and a continent. Your Excellency, I'm informed that this facility will manufacture a range of molecular and diagnostic test kits, including HIV, viral load kits, hepatitis B kits, to mention but a few. Your Excellency, I'm also informed that, and everybody here has heard that we are spending $200 million on importation of the same kits per year. And this money now will remain in the economy and facilitate this facility to generate more employment for our people. That is the Vazukulumo especially. Allow me now, Your Excellency, to thank the Ministry of Health, NDA, with my brother Dr. Vitecherezo, our brother Cedric, and your team, and also you, Your Excellency, for the good work well done. It's now my pleasure to invite you, Your Excellency, to speak to the country.
The Right Honorable Prime Minister, the ministers, the Excellency, the ambassadors, the religious leaders, the proprietors of the factory and their partners, and all the invited guests. I want just to make a few points. Point number one, I want to congratulate the Ugandan scientists for really waking up. The human race was not very scientific. It was only in 1865 when a man called Louis Pasteur, I don't know how they pronounce him in French. Is it Louis or Louis Pasteur? When he found out that we had other organisms around us which we don't see with our eyes. This is not long ago. This is 1865. Louis Pasteur was able to see the bacteria which causes, I think, fermentation in milk or something. Otherwise, people didn't know that there were other organisms around us. They didn't know. The whole world, not only here. Then understanding the molecules. I've not checked. The one who first isolated the molecules and how they combine to form compounds. Then chemistry in general. Like we in the army, we use many chemical combinations and transformations. This is all science. So it's really not good for people who say they are scientists and they are not able to understand and use this scientific knowledge to solve problems. Because, like, for instance, how was quinine attacking the malaria you're talking about, attacking the plasmodium? How was it doing it? This is just biochemistry or molecular biology. So why would scientists not know this? And you say you are a scientist. we in the army were able to understand very long ago explosions, just using the properties of different compounds. Like, for instance, the bullets which kill people. We knew that it is mainly the property of gases gases have got a property of expanding. So when you have a solid or a powder or a liquid which can change into gas in a confined space quickly, then you cause an explosion. Just science. So why would you be there just sitting? So I congratulate you for waking up. And really, because this is really just ignorance. You are 200 years behind other scientists. 1865, Louis Pasteur, how many years is that? How many years are you behind? 1865, about 150 years or something. So I'm glad, I can see you are waking up, even people from Mitoma and all those places. Mitoma, where the young man is coming from, there is a part called Karoza, where they used to believe in witchcraft. They didn't believe in science. They believed that you can cause magic. So this is my first. Because if you wake up, then it will be easier for you to find partners in the world, because those partners are there. The ones who have gone, who woke up earlier than you, they are there, and you have found them, like the people from the US. I thank them very much for working with you. And the people from China, I thank them so much. Then the third element is our policy, which is to back awakening, really. I wouldn't want to call it industrialization. Just to wake up and live as modern people. So these funds, which were put in UDB, and we shall always put more funds, are really to support that transformation from a superstition-controlled society to a science-led society. That money is just the beginning. You shall put more money and more money, more money. The partnerships are good. Recently, I visited Nakasero Hospital, and I found Dr. Mbonyo there. And he told me that they had partnered with a Dutch company, a Dutch group, which took 60% shares, and then they brought money so that Nakasero Hospital could expand. This is possible. because you already have a very powerful resource, you people. The powerful resource you have is market. You have market. Market is part of the business. Somebody who manufactures, if he cannot sell, then that business is not business. He goes bankrupt. So you Africans, the real word for sleeping is Nino, as you heard the other man say. Nino is the real word for sleeping. So you fellows who are Nino, you have a resource which you don't know, market. You have got 46 million people here. These are all consumers. Consumers of drugs, of products and services. Then you have East Africans, more than 300 million now. You have the continental market of the 1.5 billion people. In the next 30 years, the African population will be 2.5 billion. Until recently, Africa has been underpopulated. Because until recently, India and China had a bigger population each than Africa. And yet Africa is 12 times bigger than India in size and 4 times bigger than China in size. Yet China had more people than Africa, and India had more people than Africa. But because of the interventions we have done since independence, the killer diseases which were killing Africans have been tamed, and for the first time in human history, Africa would have what you may call optimal population. Because really, you take a country like Congo, DRC. Congo is about the size of India in land area, and with a lot of natural resources. But their population has been about 80 million until recently. At independence, Congo had, I think, 15 million people in a land area equal the size of India. In the next 30 years, the African population will be 2.5 billion. It will not be too many because the continent is big. So that is a market, that's a business now. So if you approach, we coordinate, and you approach partners, they will work with you because you have one element of business, which is market, and other factors like labor, cheaper labor, even raw materials. The raw materials here could be cheaper. So therefore, I really want to salute you, young people, for waking up and getting out of the slavery of dependency, because that has been the problem. It is the mentality. Now, finally, on the issue of off-take, that's not a big issue. The Minister of Health has already told you that we shall buy that minimum quantity which you say you need to get people to partner with you. Those are, as I have told you, those people are, they have got a clear ekibaro. They are asking you, your government has guaranteed you how much off-take per year. That's what they're asking. They are not saying just off-take. They're saying how much. So, if the off-take is sizable, then they say, okay, we can give you our technology. But as you do research yourself, you discover those molecules yourselves. As you have said, some of you have already discovered those molecules, because those molecules are there. They are there. Up to now, you have not been able to make HIV vaccine. And why? Our people from virus, from Entebbe, they have found out why, and they are not going to make the vaccine themselves. The reason why the vaccine has not been, of AIDS has not been found is that, I think the minister was touching on it a bit, was that HIV became mainly an African problem. So other people were not bothering so much about it. But our people have spent more time, and they are coming up with the vaccine. They told me, and I could hear their logic because of concentration at the virus center. So therefore, apart from borrowing this technology, you can also identify those solutions. Because it is like war. If there is an enemy, in this case a virus or a bacteria or what do you call Plasmodium? There's a general name for them. Huh? The multicellular. What are they called? Not unicellular. Plasmodium is one cell or many cells? Huh? Come and help me revise my biology of 1964. Plasmodium is unicellular or multicellular?
Your Excellency, it's multicellular and it's a protozoa.
Protozoa, that's the word I wanted to remember, the protozoa. So if you have those enemies, the medical challenge you have is how can you puncture the integrity of the enemy? What weapon, what bullet do you have to puncture or disable the enemy without harming the body? Because this is really the challenge. The challenge. And those who discover molecules, they discover them because of that. Either it can block, or it can injure, or it can perform those. When Sir Ian Fleming, no, the one who discovered penicillin, was it Sir Ian Fleming who discovered penicillin? Revise, come here. or the man from Koboko?
Your Excellency, it was Alexander Fleming.
Alexander Fleming. How did he discover penicillin? You tell us.
I think it was an accidental.
Yes, that's what normally happens.
It was accidental on a
He noticed that microbes somewhere were not growing or something.
Yes, they were not growing, so he discovered that.
Near the Orhumbo.
Yes.
Would you know what Orhumbo is? Mold.
Yes.
Mold is called Orhumbo. So what does penicillin do to bacteria? What does it do?
Your Excellency, it depends on the type of bacteria, but it affects certain metabolic processes.
Yes. That's what we are looking.
Nucleus of the bacteria.
That's what we are looking for. So if you really sit down and you discover many of these things yourselves, and you are lucky because you are rich in diseases. Being in the tropics, you have got the enemy. Now, if you have got the enemy, you should be the one to design the weapons. Because they are more a problem to you. Our people in virus, they briefed me they told me about HIV, and I could hear the logic very clearly, because the scientists there said that not all the HIV viruses are apparently infective. Some are there, they don't infect. The ones which infect as certain types are fewer. And the problem was that they were looking at the whole. They were looking at the dangerous and the harmless. But these people, your people have been able to find which are the bad ones. Because that virus, long ago when we attended the conference in Florence, there's a town in Italy. The Italians call it Firenze, but the English call it Florence. We went there long ago. It must be more than to attend an AIDS conference there. And then they were saying that the AIDS virus mutates, that it mutates, it changes. Then we were saying, but if it mutates, are there no parts of the virus which don't mutate? Why don't you get those? And we thought it could be done, but up to now. And when I asked our people why, they said, they told me that explanation. They are very hopeful. They are very hopeful now. But this means nanyini mufu yakwata abasinga okuwunya. Nanyini mufu. Ekyo mwagala kukikyusa. Oba tukireke. Tukireke. Kati nanyini mufu. So, mwe bananyini bizibu. Mwe mulina okukwata wali abasinga okuwunya. Ani anakwata omufu bw'aba awunya ekiyitiridde. Tolaba nti muli mu gambling. I'm speaking to them in Latin, so they understand Latin better. Thank you very much. I thank everybody and I congratulate you.
I usually tell young people that our president is informed. I'm not so sure I remember my biology of recent, But when someone remembers biology of 10 years before I was born, that one you give a hand clap. Your Excellency, we thank you very much. Looking at the weather, I am kindly requesting you to allow to receive a gift and 3 pictures and the anthems, and then with your permission, you will end the function. The gift. That gift is from the family.
Want to work with UDB. UDB will be very happy to work with you. Although they are not efficient, be careful about them. But they have some money. So we shall make them work with you. Even this group called, what do you call them? NSSF. Those people have a lot of money and they are investing in speculation in Nairobi. There is money. There is money. We shall get money.
These children will let their friends in school know that they are not regular. So as the song goes, City Regular, when you stand next to the president, you keep that picture. You go back to your primary school and ask your friends in school, who are you? Now this is who I am, and you have evidence. Fantastic picture that. Mzei n'abatabani ne muwala we n'abazzukulu. Now those will be joined by His Excellency, the Chinese ambassador, ministers present, and obviously the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Health. The last group is the 12 members of staff. You know yourselves with your masks. The members of staff, the 12, will come separately. When it comes out of the mouth of the president, it is a directive. It was threatening to rain. The president spoke, the cloud is clearing. Some people are blessed by God. Members of staff, don't fear, go and I know the moment overwhelms. Prepare for anthems at the back. The president has asked for the partners. There were 2 groups of partners. We'll begin with this group, then the second group. Your Excellency, thank you for your kindness. The second group of partners, please. I think the Chinese ambassador will come back again with this group of partners. It makes more sense then. Mrs. Stand next to the most obvious gentleman. There were days when people took pictures, went to develop them in Nairobi and declared the pictures died, we need to take them again. That has since changed. I think that is it. Future in thy hands, Son of that free for together will always stand. On a rare occasion, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces and the President has asked for a picture with the MCs. Muna Mpulira. There is a song in this country in which the musician used to sing Anyakumanyi. Munampulira ku social media. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for coming and honoring this invitation. And we do hope that you will support us. May God richly and abundantly bless you. Kamperekere ku mukwano gwange ow'e Kakumiro.